For live thing this time.
I know, it was a mistake.
You are like me. What's up, everybody?
Hi.
Welcome to another episode of Attack the Block Print. Peter and Gabby's here.
Hi.
We're gonna have a good one tonight. Transitioning from Halloween to Christmas. We're still holding on to the Halloween vibes, but we are looking forward to Christmas. So tonight we're gonna be carving a Jack Skellington block print. Block, I should say. Super hyped on it. It's a perfect one to do as a black and white block print, obviously, because those are his colors. But I did attempt to make him look a little bit more like a little carved figure. So we'll try to achieve that in the carve and the print. But before we get into it, let's say hey to the people in the chat. What's up, everybody? David Robertson, the archive, Melanie, Chelsea, hello. Andrew Harriman, and Abby is watching, by the way.
Hi, Abby.
Nerd Overlord, Christopher Alarcon, Zagona, Bob N. Ryan Dole, he's emotionally ready to commit to tonight's show. And that's how you want to start off. Many more of you guys, Pedals and Stuff, Vintage Shark, Justin Cecil, Zach Presley, Christine Stubbs, hello, Larry Latham, good to see you guys. Super excited because now we, as many of you know, we've shifted our YouTube schedule a little bit. So we are now, instead of doing a live stream once a week, I'm actually doing them twice a month. So just every other week. And really that's because I need to get back and focus full force on Takuro the Last Dorok, the book. I've been working on it over the past year, and it is a daunting task. Who would have thought that carving, 80 pieces of art for a book would have been a difficult challenge, but it is. And so I want to put a little bit more time to that to see if we can speed up that process a bit and get you guys all those goodies. So that's where I've been. But other than that, it's just exciting to be back. If you want to hang out with us still 4 times a month, you can. If you join our Patreon, which is linked in the show description, I believe.
Yep. Yes, it is.
And, Gabby's going to pull up our Patreon to show you guys. We've been having a lot of fun there. Patreon was an idea I had for, not that Patreon was my idea, but
Patreon was all your idea.
Oh, thank God, Patreon.
Thank God Peter thought about Patreon.
I sold it for nothing. So, when we had the idea to do a Patreon, it was that all these prints that I was making on the streams, what am I going to do with them? And so I thought it would be fun to give them away on the Patreon. And we've been doing that. So if you're subscribed to the Patreon, it's $5 a month. And it gets you 5 chances to win every month a print of your choice from the ones that I have available. And we're also showing we had some pictures there of Wonton and our new puppy Boo.
Yes.
Which is a big piece of news that we share. We did some Let's Plays on Patreon.
Overcooked was the last one.
Overcooked was the last one. It was fun. It almost ended everything in this house, as it does. It should just put.
We haven't played since because it was just too. I mean, I got sick. No, that was after I got sick.
Yeah, no, that's when you came back. That was your mighty return.
I still have a cough.
Yeah,
which is the worst. Yeah, but it's okay.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a great hang. We do giveaways. We do 2 extra streams a month. Let's Plays are what we're really feeling right now. I don't know if we're gonna switch back. I'm just having so much fun with it. I want to do Dead by Daylight again. I want to bring in one of our friends, maybe our buddy Haidar from Shoujo Beer Company to come over. Oh, actually now it's Shoujo's Dojo, the sake.
Shoujo's Dojo.
Yes. So he'll maybe have him come in and play the mortuary assistant. So not me playing it again. He's never played it.
Why are we even bringing that game back into the stream? Like what?
I just feel like
what did they do to deserve that?
We can create a portfolio of people reacting poorly to that game, and starting with Haidar. You left the stream.
I had to. I was having a full-on panic attack.
And you guys can see that on the Patreon. It was a lot of fun. Gabby had to totally bail on the stream, but I like the idea of that.
I didn't bail completely. I was still here.
You were there.
I was still here just in spirit.
Yeah, just off cam.
Exactly. Overcooked was a lot more fun.
Yeah, Overcooked
Dead by Daylight was a lot more fun.
Yes, and Dead by Daylight, I think we should do every so often just because we have a great system to give away extra prints during that stream. So yeah, if you join us during the extra streams, we actually give away extra prints just to the people in the chat for those streams. So a lot of chances to win free art that I make here on the stream. And then I even have the blocks available for sale once in a while. We'll put them up on our Patreon store so you can buy a one-of-one carving. Really exciting stuff. Anyway, let's get into it. There's a lot of, we had news. Gabby had already picked some news articles this morning.
I had.
And then the freaking day happened, and like everything is on fire in a crazy way in our movie and TV show world.
Yes. So you want to get into it?
Yeah, let's just get right into it.
Hold on. We got to go to our awesome stinger.
Yes.
Entertainment news.
You know, right when we went to the stinger, Wonton and Boo started like acting up. So I looked over.
Oh, because you can see, I can't see them.
No, I just hear them. You don't hear them?
No.
Oh, they had a little bark moment. So I went over to see what happened, and Boo just shut. Boo is like, what would we compare him to the other day?
Oh my God, there was a meme of it. It was Tony is a bus, and Boo is like a train hits the bus.
Hits the bus, yeah. Yeah, because like Boo is like insane moment. He's like Bullet Bill by your ankles, if you get that Mario reference. But anyway, he just wedged himself into Wonton's little bed, and Wonton's like, what the heck, bro? But now
they're being cute.
No, now Boo laid down totally. We should put this real quick. I'm gonna post this and send this to you real quick.
Wait, but like, okay. I was gonna say use the art cam to show them because the people on the chat are dying to see it. I need to set up a Tony and Boo cam so you guys can see.
Alright, I'm sending it to you.
Go for it.
Can you post it in the Patreon?
No, you post it. You have the app on your phone. Why did you make me work so hard?
I'm going to post this in the Patreon.
Okay, you do that while I read the news.
Yes.
I think the chat was already popping off about this when we started, which is that Pedro Pascal is being eyed to play Reed Richards in Fantastic Four.
And you know what's crazy? If you go on /film, they basically posted it as, oh, he's cast. I just saw that before we went live.
No way.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like, I don't know if they're just feeling crazy, but their post /film says,
hold on,
is cast as.
Oh no. Well, it just says eyed to play because it says here, all right.
Yeah.
What the article said is that they're still in negotiations and working out schedules. So the sources that were delivering this news said that everything is looking good and it's moving forward, but it's still not like 100% official yet.
Yeah.
So they're waiting to make sure because Pedro Pascal is going to be in a lot of things. He's in Gladiator 2. He's going to be in The Last of Us season 2.
That's right.
I don't know like what's going on with him in the Star Wars universe, but he is the friggin' Mandalorian.
But they said he's not going to be on. This is interesting because they just announced the other day that he's not going to be on set at all for the next season.
Oh, interesting. So maybe he's just going to do voice acting. But it says here, insiders add that scheduling is still being worked out, but multiple sources close to the negotiations are saying it's headed in the right direction for Pascal. That's awesome. I know, like when Peter brought it up to me earlier, I had just woken up from a nap and he was like, Pedro Pascal's gonna be Richard Reed, and I'm like, okay, everybody settle down. He's like, I don't know if I like
Reed Richards. Yeah, I'm not feeling this at all. Wonton, by the way, I just posted a picture on the Patreon, and now Wonton left. He's pissed off, and now Boo's chasing him. And what a war! You're gonna have to go get a bed for them real quick.
Oh Lord, I told you to get beds for them.
Okay, no, but they're not gonna pee on everything. No, just let them figure it out.
Okay, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, okay. But anyway. First of all, there's too many things happening at the same time. I just posted the picture on the Patreon so you guys can see. Second of all, we're 4 subscribers away from 100 members in the Patreon, which means I would unlock an extra. I know, I just looked, I saw it. I didn't know either.
Is it subscribers, like members or subscribers?
No, members.
Because there's a difference. There's now Patreon does paid members and then subscribers.
How do I know the difference?
It should say it. I don't know if it says it in the app, but it says it on the website. But basically the idea is that Patreon allows people to continue to follow their favorite creators without being under a paid membership, so they can still access like certain tiers of content without paying for it.
Oh, okay.
So I know last time I checked, our like a follower count or whatever was higher than our paid membership.
So I'll tell you, I don't know what I'm saying then.
I don't know. I think last time I checked, we were close, but I think we were at like 80 something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
But anyway, once we do hit 100, I'm gonna unlock an extra print giveaway. So every 25 paying subscribers, I guess, I'll add a print to it, and that's just to incentivize you guys. Tell your friends, join. You know, it's a cool way to get art from me without having to
For sure.
Buy it. And yeah, so anyway, get into that because this is just crazy.
Well, like I think it's gonna be, you know, and chat has made a couple of good points that, you know, Pedro Pascal is kind of he's going the route of Chris Pratt when he went into Guardians of the Galaxy, and now suddenly Chris Pratt was being cast in like everything. And it does sometimes feel like it's too much. Like, he doesn't have to be in every single popular IP. But this is, in my opinion, okay, I'm not upset about Pedro Pascal being Reed Richards. I love Pedro Pascal like most women and everybody does. Yeah, we all love him. There's so much to love. But I do feel like this is something that Hollywood does.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like they find somebody who's super popular and everybody loves him, and then they just go ahead and cast him in everything. And I'm happy for him, but I worry that it's gonna lead to Pedro Pascal fatigue.
Well, I don't worry about that. By the way, can you reset my camera real quick? I don't worry about that so much. I'm more worried that I don't think he's the right. I mean, maybe he surprises us. He's like, you know, I love him as an actor. I just not even close to what I would have for Reed Richards. Not even close.
What would you have done?
Every other fan casting I think was better. Every other one, which was like obviously what's this guy who played in
John Krasinski.
John Krasinski's great. It's a crime.
It's a crime that they killed him off in WandaVision. Sorry for spoilers, but it's been long enough.
Yeah, but they could still cast him and play another version.
I know, I know, but
multiverse.
I wonder if they did that because they were saying like, hey, here's fan service, but he's not interested in playing the role, and so you're gonna get him for this, but then we're gonna kill him off. So we can get
obviously,
else,
but fine. So if not him, I thought Adam Driver was rumored for a while. I'd rather have Adam Driver to like countercast him from Kylo Ren. Like,
no, I disagree.
Why?
I would much prefer Pedro Pascal over Adam Driver.
Give me your reasoning.
I don't know. I just like in my brain, Adam Driver is Kylo Ren. Like,
that's the whole
it would
point.
be hard for me to see him as Reed Richards and like make me buy into it.
But what if? Okay, well, I agree that it would be a challenge. Like, he has to convince a bunch of people that he's a good guy now. But the whole Reed Richards character is that he's the smartest man like in the universe, period. Mm-hmm. And we don't want him to be too old of an actor because we want to build movies around him, right?
Right.
And so if Adam Driver is a really good actor, like him pulling that off would actually be awesome for his career. You're gonna have to get him a bed.
Bro, they're both over here.
Get him a bed and get him the water spray.
Okay, all right.
All right.
You keep
I'll
talking
keep going
about
on this. I'll talk to the chat about this, but like, let's see what we got here. Yeah, Raph, the art cam has been a little bit of a biatch. I'm gonna have to figure out some tech on that. But let me see. Chilean here, National Treasure. Oh, for sure. I love Pedro, man. Like, Pedro Pascal to me is you know, top echelon of like geekdom. I think he'll do great as Reed, but they better get Super MILF to place him. Let's see. Adam Driver would be a cool actor to do. I agree with that. Adam Driver could do anything. I'm just saying, I don't think that Adam Driver is my number one choice. Obviously not. But I'm saying, like, even that one, which I was a little like, I tripped over that one a little bit. I still would have preferred that in theory to Pedro. Again, I want to give him a shot. You know, I don't want to rule it out that he's like awesome. But I just don't see him. Like, there's something about, there's also like, okay, there's like, maybe this is like the artist eye or something. When I think of Pedro Pascal's head, he's like a square shaped head. You know what I mean? He's like a block. And then, and to me, Reed Richards is more like a vertical rectangular, like a shape language when I think of him. So he's supposed to stretch and be long. I don't know, like, you stretch out Mr. Fantastic really long, but his head's like a big dot. You know what I mean? It doesn't work visually for me.
The dumbest thing.
But it's true. It's something in my head where it's like there are some people whose heads are more like narrow and tall, and some that are more short and squat. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, sure, the acting could be on point and it could be convincing and people could fall in love with the character, yada yada. But get someone with a lot.
That's enough out of you. That's a ridiculous take.
I know, but it's so like really what I think.
Oh my god, he's making me cough from how ridiculous that is.
You didn't get the water spray for them.
But look at them.
Okay, it's gonna be a wrestle match.
It's okay. Let them do what they gotta do.
Let them fight.
I am not. I don't care, honestly. Look, I'm also in this position where
You don't care about Fantastic Four.
it's not about that.
Yeah.
That's irrelevant.
But to start, like for context,
well, I
like
don't.
you're not
I'm not like
about the.
Yeah, I didn't grow up fucking watching or even reading Fantastic Four. Like I don't give that much of a fuck. But I also feel like I don't really care. I just don't care. I just want it to be a good story. Because that's the problem is that all of this, Fantastic Four has never had a good movie.
No,
I would say like
they're all bad.
They're all bad. I mean, the one that came out with what's his face as the fire guy. What's his name?
Human Torch, Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah. No. The one before that.
Oh, Chris Evans?
Yes.
That one's
Well, okay. All right. Hold on. Let me.
And there's two of them, by the way.
Headphones. I don't know why I have them. I think my issue with that is that I have like nostalgia behind it.
Well, yeah, I get
Does that
that.
make sense?
Yeah,
like I
that makes
remember
sense.
watching it as a kid and really liking it, and Chris Evans was hot, and so in my brain I'm like, oh, that's a great film. I know it's like not a great film, but back then no one was exactly like excited about superhero movies. Like it was just a fun time, and everyone's like, "Oh, cool, superhero movie." And if it was even halfway decent, it was great.
Well, okay, you definitely had a different experience than I did.
I did.
It was after the SpiderMan movies had come out, after the X-Men movies had come out.
But I didn't even think that the original Spider-Man movies were that incredible. Like the Tobey Maguire ones.
So you didn't. You started off not loving the genre.
It's not that I didn't love it. I enjoyed it probably as much as the next person. It's just that I wasn't a fangirl.
Right, you didn't care.
It.
Right. You
No,
were not
like I wasn't
invested. You're not invested.
No, exactly. I was not invested.
You're like, if it's fun, it's fun. If it's not, it's not. Who gives a fuck?
Right, who cares?
Right. So clearly, you're not the target demo for my points that I was making.
Exactly. But I'm still allowed
Gabby
to
just
disagree
called
with
me
you.
a dumb fucking nerd.
No, a sweaty nerd. No,
Swear.
It's not that. It's just that I don't really care as long as the story is good. I think that's the problem, is that we're focusing on the wrong thing. I think the issue, and I read this over the weekend, was that people have Marvel fatigue. Like
No, it's bad movie fatigue. We liked Guardians, and Guardians did pretty well. It would have done
I
better.
never saw it.
I know, but
Yeah, but like box office numbers don't lie.
But it did pretty well. It didn't do $1 billion, which it probably would have done pre-pandemic.
Maybe,
But it did 800 mil.
I don't know. I guess we're both on opposite sides of this issue, because I really think that it's fatigue, and people have superhero fatigue, Marvel fatigue specifically, because they've just been pumping out so much content, and a lot of that content has been like very whatever, and it feels like the MCU doesn't really have like a direction.
But what does that have to do with the Pedro Pascal?
It goes back to my point that I just want it to be a good story.
Right.
I don't really care who the fuck Reed Richard. I almost
Mr.
called him
Fantastic.
Richard Reed. Yeah, I don't fucking care who it is. I just want a good story. I want there to be a villain introduced that actually makes sense. That
Yes.
I know that people are saying we're
Dr.
moving
Doom,
away from
Kang.
which
thank
we'll
God.
talk about. But
Yeah.
like, and if we get Dr. Doom, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't fucking care.
But you don't even care about. You don't care.
I just want the
You don't
stakes to
care
be back.
if Doctor Doom is a purple taco with a cape, as long as he's a compelling villain.
If it's a compelling villain, and I
Yes.
feel like we're legit, because the problem is what MCU does is that every property that they've come out with since Endgame has been like, this is the new big problem.
I know, that is a problem.
And the issue is like, okay, at what point are you gonna lose me on that? Because I don't fucking care. Like, I just don't believe you anymore. Because I know that by the end of this series or the end of this whatever, you guys are gonna have solved the problem, and then it's not really gonna be a problem anymore. And they've already trashed a couple of like big problems. Like, whatever happened to that fucking sorry. Arishem from the Eternals.
Oh my
that
God.
That fucking judge who was like,
Just sitting
I'll
in the ocean.
decide whether or not humanity survives based on what I learned from the Eternals that I fucking kidnapped from Earth. And guess what? No one has said like anything
BRB.
about Arishem since.
BRB, Arishem.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't. You fool me 8 or more times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I can't. So I don't really care. Ultimately, it goes back to my point that I don't fucking care who Reed Richards is, as long as the story is good. You actually make me believe that there is something to be worried about in the MCU. And that's pretty much it, dude. I don't fucking care.
You better drop that bomb button right now.
I don't know which one.
No. That's
There you
one.
go.
That's your rant right there.
I like that I just fucking X myself. No, wrong. Still wrong. It shouldn't be Pedro Pascal.
I agree with everything you said, honestly. I really do. That it's almost like hard to get excited for this announcement and it feels like an announcement made in a PR room. Like, who can we get? Well, everybody loves Pedro Pascal. Get him.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, then get me out of the Mandalorian where I'm just sitting around wearing a mask. I don't have to even be there. And I'll just do the voice acting after.
Right.
And I'll be your Reed Richards. And like, okay, we got him. The Mandalorian as the next Marvel guy. That's what it feels like. So, but that aside, if you do like the casting and you are interested and a fan of Fantastic Four, then the downside is that I'm just not hyped for Marvel at all right now. And I hate to say it.
Going back to my point.
I know. So what I'm saying is like, you're right. This was not the direction I was thinking we were going to take the conversation, but it is an important point because I'm saying like, this is not what I was hoping for the new face of the first Marvel family. And you're saying, I don't even care anymore. And I think most people are probably somewhere in those camps. You know, I'm sure there's some starry-eyed people still there in the darkness holding up a little match with the light. Please, Marvel, find your way. But
I know,
and I want to be
there. The rest of
us
are like, right, whatever. Okay.
I want to be there. I still want to be there. But it's like everything I see goes like this, boom, boom. I thought Loki was better than the majority of everything that has come since Endgame.
And I ended up liking Loki, even though we watched the first episode when it premiered, but then we kind of like fell off the train because we were like, nah, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, I don't really know what's happening here and I don't really care.
Yeah.
And so we fell off, and then we binge watched like 4 or 5 episodes or something. And by the time that happened, I was like, oh, okay, I like where we're going with this because they dropped a lot of the stupid shit that happened in season 1 that I didn't care about. But
I agree that it was really good and there was a lot of good stuff. I cannot not buy into Kang.
No, but it looks like they're getting rid of Kang.
I cannot buy into Jonathan Majors playing Kang.
Yeah.
I
think it's over for him. I honestly, I hate to say it because
it means like
it means that like they're gonna have to abandon all of this stuff that they, you know.
But honestly,
but the writing's on the wall. Like, you know, Ant-Man. Nobody responded well to Jonathan Majors in Ant-Man.
No.
Ant-Man itself didn't do very well at all. Like,
I can't believe anyone was okay. Let me not say it that way. I was very, very much not a fan of the He Who Remains character, how it was portrayed at the end of Loki season 1. It took all the wind out of the Loki sails for me.
Yeah.
I loved every episode of that show.
Yeah.
And at the end, I was like it's another
I
Ralph
know, he was
Boner
too
moment.
goofy. He played it too goofy.
No, and it wasn't even the goofy part. I mean, yes, I agree with what you're saying, but it was on more than that for me. It was like he was just very much like, I'm acting, but it's a quirky type of acting, and now I'm over here.
Right?
But
okay,
I could
quirky.
be over here.
Quirky
But
and
it was,
goofy
like,
to me
so
are the same shit.
No, I agree with you. I'm just saying, but it was so over the top, like overselling it, and then when he played Kang in Ant-Man, it was much better, especially the first half or the first 2/3 of the movie.
Yeah.
But once you get him in the final act mode, I was like, oh my God.
I know,
and then when
really
the post-credit scenes, I would have fired my agent. I would have sued Marvel. I'm
that
like,
was so cringy,
that is
dude.
so bad. It crushed me how bad that was. And then here in Loki, it's definitely better than what I just described.
You can tell that they told him, hey, tone it down.
I don't know, because the Victor Timely thing.
Well, Victor Timely was so obnoxious. I hate that they tried to play this like, oh, he's a science nerd, so he has a stutter.
Or
and
no,
he
he's
has
a science
this
nerd,
like
so he has an
affect
old-timey,
to it. Ooh, like
old-timey
it just
sake.
seemed so like,
Oh
who
my
made that
God.
fucking choice? But whatever. The point is that I think the writing is on the wall, that the time for Kang is over, and that it looks like we'll transition over to Doctor Doom as the new big. Which somebody said in the chat, I forget, but that Doctor Doom makes more sense for Secret Wars anyway.
It definitely does in terms of the comics.
So I mean, like, maybe this is a blessing in disguise that it didn't work out.
And honestly, like, I would have been so nervous as to how they would have had to explain away Jonathan Majors, but the Loki ending, you could just say, oh, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, don't spoil it, but like, because it's still fairly fresh.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you haven't seen Loki season 2 yet, it is worth watching. It's definitely very, like, the tone of it is very sad and somber and like almost frustrating for this variant of Loki. But like Sonia said in the chat earlier, it is a Shakespearean tragedy. Yeah. That's almost exactly the way it was written. Yeah. And that's almost as much as I'll say about it, but it does open the doors to potentially transitioning away from relying on Kang as the big bad and moving over to literally any other villain. If they don't hopefully it'll be
if they don't do Doctor Doom, just forget the MCU, dude. It's done. Like, you can't go from nothing to not that great. You have to now, you got to put it all on the line. You got to get your Magneto lined up, your X-Men lined up. You got to get your Fantastic Four lined up.
Well, apparently the Marvels gave us some good news about what's going to happen next in the MCU. I mean, they've been talking about it for a while.
Yeah, the post-credits scene.
I don't want to talk about it, but I don't want to spoil anything for anybody.
It's all over the internet.
You can go see it on
I know. I woke up the next day and I blocked most of those spoiler channels, and it's still caught through my freaking YouTube.
I will say that there's another piece of news that came out that kind of backs up this whole end of the Kang Dynasty, which is that Destin Daniel Cretton, who was the director on board for Kang Dynasty, Avengers Kang Dynasty, has departed. He has given up the project, and he's going to remain on board for the other projects that he's working on, such as Wonder Man and Shang-Chi 2, but he will no longer be heading up Kang Dynasty, which, like, apparently that means that it's still going to happen. Like, it's slated for May of 2026 or something, but honestly, that's so far out that they could definitely take that time to just be like, never mind.
100%. And they can keep the slot. They can keep the slot.
Of course they can.
And they can make it an Avengers movie. They'll just call it something else, like, you know.
And I think they could do a good Doctor Doom. Like, they haven't done it right yet. You know, like the first two Doctor Dooms that we got in those, like, in Fantastic Four, and then in, what was the other one? Fantastic, I think it was just called, with the 4 in the middle.
Yeah, Fan-4-Stick or something.
Fan-4-Stick.
Yeah,
like they just didn't do Doctor Doom right in any of those. They played him a little bit like on the safe, sort of like sterile side. He's a lot more complex. Like my brother was saying in the chat, Doctor Doom has so much richness and depth. And a Doom World storyline would be awesome.
It would be awesome to again play up the immigration stuff and play up the the vanity thing, like you know, because the other thing about him, by the way, Doctor Doom, which is why I do also think Kylo Ren, Adam Driver would be a good choice for him. Although again, I feel like it's typecasting. Is Doctor Doom hides his face because he thinks it's been damaged, because it's been damaged by the
explosion,
the accident that happened that gave them their powers, yada yada. But when you finally see it, it's a beautifully handsome face with just a scar because he's so vain.
Yeah, right.
That's part of this whole thing.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you gotta have like a stud, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, Darren Metzger just pledged to our Patreon. Thank you so much, Darren. I appreciate that. Welcome.
Hey, Abby says, I love Nightmare Before Christmas, my favorite movie, and congrats on Boo. Thank you, Abby.
Oh, thank you, Abby.
Sweet.
I love Nightmare Before Christmas. Funny story,
fans.
when I was, I must have been 10 years, I was 10 years old when that movie came out. And right after it came out, like probably like the next summer, my parents took me to Disney MGM Studios, back then what it was called, and they did a little tram tour. And the tram tour passed us through this little backlot thing that had one of the whole sets of the town.
I didn't know
that was used in the movie. Yeah, it was amazing. I got to see it up close, and like the whole thing, it was so crazy. Like no one would have seen that unless they took this little like sleepy tram tour at MGM, and it was so cool to see it.
Yeah. Some chat is saying Henry Cavill is Doom. Cillian Murphy is Doom. I do like Cillian Murphy as Doom. He's
yes.
just creepy enough and hot enough to like pull that off.
Yeah, but the problem with him for me is that he's still a little too like spindly. I want a Jack Doom. Henry Cavill would be.
Henry Cavill would be great. I love.
Dude, Henry Cavill as Doom is be perfect because he's big, he's Jack, he's a stud.
You gotta tell me twice.
And it's such a cool like meta thing, like going from the biggest hero in DC to the biggest villain in Marvel. Plus, he's a big dork, so he'll be into it.
Yeah,
and
he would.
Be above
He would
it.
totally be so into it. He wouldn't let any bullshit.
I'll
happen.
accept Pedro Pascal if he gives me
Well, anyway.
Henry Cavill.
Let's see. I know I have more. Here we go. So we kind of talked about this. Loki just gave Marvel the perfect way out of the Jonathan Majors mess.
Yeah.
We kind of already covered this, but yeah, basically, I don't want to spoil it.
No, but we can spoil it, B. It's already been plenty of time.
Has
The
it
internet. Anybody who wants to see it.
Well, if you don't want full-on Loki spoilers, just mute us for a minute.
Yeah.
But basically, what happens, excuse me, at the end of Loki, is that Loki has to make this major sacrifice, and he realizes that the only way to accomplish what he and Sylvie had done at the end of season 1, which was to basically free all of the timelines from the TVA being, cropping out all of these timelines and killing all of these separate, timelines, is that they kind of created a problem where the TVA could no longer handle all the amount of infinite amount of timelines. And so Loki basically has to sacrifice himself in order to allow all of these different timelines to exist by using his god powers to hold the fabric of the multiverse together. But he would have to do that in solitude. Literally just sit there and hold on to all of these timelines and infuse them with his magic or whatever the fuck or energy and keep them all alive because they were dying on their own. It was very, very tragic.
What a bummer. What a cool bummer, man.
Yeah, well, burdened with glorious purpose.
Yes, dude.
That's what it is. It's not just to have the throne and rule over Asgard and all of the different realms of Asgard, is that he literally will be the king of everything, but he would have to do it alone in order to save his friends and
give them a chance
to live their lives and fight for their lives instead of having it being chosen for them by He Who Remains.
Dude, now you could have it. If you wanted to introduce Doctor Doom in a cool way, when you get to the point where, because the whole thing is Doctor Doom is heavily involved in the multiversal war. Long story, he takes all the chunks of the multiverse, puts them together into something called Battle World. It's like a planet of fragments, like Pangea, but the planet and different multiverses. But you could make it so that when people are like, "Oh, the war, is starting, and we're under siege by Kang," is all the Kang bears like, "No, it's Doctor Doom. He fucking killed all those Kangs."
I would love
amazing. Yeah.
I would love it. Epi. Hi, Epi. It's such a cool punishment in the Marvel universe if you compare it to Norse myth. Yeah, and a lot of all of that is using Norse mythology to
Norse mythology ripped off Marvel so bad.
I mean,
they stole Thor, they stole Loki.
Well, you're saying Norse mythology stole stupid
hacks.
ass. When you see the end of that scene where Loki takes over all of the timelines and sits on the throne, it is the Ig tree, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Epi, but I think it's the Yggdrasil tree, which is like the tree of life in Norse mythology. So it's very cool. I love all those callbacks to Norse mythology and using it in in a way to explain this universe.
It's based on a Marvel tree, bro.
I think he's called the God of Stories now, right? God of Stories.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Anyway,
it's really cool. No, they did a killer job on that. I still think that I wish it wasn't so much Kang's or Victor Timely and all that kind of stuff. I'm glad it was, and I get where they were gonna go with it potentially.
Yeah, it just didn't work out.
It worked out. What's the good news is it works out so much as Loki's story by the end of it. Because the whole time I'm watching Loki, and I realize I'm really just waiting for more Kang stuff. Yeah, that sucks. I want
more. Right.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good exit for Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
And Loki.
Although he'll be back.
Yeah, maybe, but I think they killed him off in Endgame.
Yeah, but it's like that.
He's
that
dead
version.
in that timeline. He's dead. Then we get his variant, and now he's the god of stories. You know, basically, we're never gonna see him again unless somebody figures out how to access him.
If they if they don't actually have him like star in a feature or something like that, that's fine. But he'll have to pop up at least once.
I'm sure. But either way, like if Tom Hiddleston, because you know Tom Hiddleston's already getting up there in age. Like if he doesn't want to continue committing himself to the Loki role, and if he's done, that was a great exit.
Yeah, but
he doesn't
we're
need more than that.
literally months away from seeing Hugh Jackman return, who literally
I know
couldn't
you have a
ended
point. You have a point, but I think it
Wolverine
was
better.
like he just. The fans were too rabid for that.
Yeah.
He had to come back. Also, it's funny. Like he's not doing something serious, or you know, it's not connected to some of the failed X-Men projects. It's more like this fun kind of tongue-in-cheek version of Wolverine that everyone's kind of thirsty for. So
can't wait.
we shall see. We shall see. I think somebody in the chat was asking, is Jonathan Majors actually guilty? And is that what's happening? I don't know. I think the trial started already, but I mean, I don't know.
I'm not following that so closely. I'm sure if there was any news, it would be out. But I think it's. I don't think it's totally to do with that. I think he could be found totally innocent, and it would have been enough time and controversy to give Marvel an out. Yeah. Because they're like. The MCU is not doing well, and no one's hyped up about Kang. No one's threatened by Kang.
No one feels anything about Kang.
No, there's nothing. Kang has a lot of cool powers in the comics and in the shows, and it's never been shown. He's supposed to be this big badass. You don't really understand why. Like they talk about why, but you don't see it. Yeah. And then
they do talk about it in Loki. Yeah. Like, about how, you know, when you discover that he is like. When you discover that it's not a council, right? Like, what was it called? The Time Guardians or the Time, whatever the fuck. The count. No, when the TVA first starts, it's like these three gods.
Oh, correct. Gotcha,
what are they called again?
I forget, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, but the point is, like, where was I going with this point?
We were saying that there's no threat. Like, Kang's a threat, and you're saying they do
No,
refer
they explain like some. How he's so, or why he's so powerful. Right. In that moment of the season, that's when they explain like, oh, why is he able to do all of these things and blah blah blah.
But it just, there was nothing that ever showed it. Anyway, my point in bringing that up was that it didn't feel like audiences were connecting at all with him. So that this is like a perfect jumping out point.
Agreed.
Potentially.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, well, moving on. I know there's even more Marvel news to go through,
crazy.
so let's just get to it.
At least it's newsworthy.
By the way, if you were gone for Loki spoilers, you can come back now.
Yeah.
If chat, please let people know that they can come back. Loki spoilers are over. Anyway, there's so much going on in Marvel right now.
It's
so
crazy.
I'm sorry if we have mostly Marvel news.
It's
today,
warranted. It's warranted.
But it's just a lot happening. Sadly for the Marvels, they were a bomb with the lowest MCU box office debut. That is a bummer. Cause
what happened?
I don't know what just happened.
I probably made a noise on the thing and they freaked out and thinking somebody's knocking.
Well, they'll hey.
Hey. Sorry, guys.
Sorry, everybody. They've heard something.
They're just
so
pissed off
yeah,
with the
it's a
Marvels.
bummer because the Marvels, although it's got mixed reviews, a lot of the critics' reviews are pretty bad. The audience score is fairly good, so it's kind of messing with people's ability to judge whether or not it's worth going to see. The hype wasn't there. The actors and the writers' strike ended towards the really close to the release of the film, and so there wasn't a lot of promotion being done anywhere for this film, which I know we've talked about before. Like, does it really matter if the actors are out there doing press tours? But it's more than that. Like, no one was talking about the film. Like, you didn't have influencers on social media talking about it. The actors themselves weren't talking about it. Like, there was no drum up for this.
There was no hype, man.
So again, like, I don't know if that necessarily is the problem, but it didn't do well, and that's another fucking strike against Marvel.
Yeah, and then what an example. Speaking of, I'm not gonna say what it was, I guess, if you don't want to know, but that post-credit scene, what a smash hit that would have been during like the Marvel hype time, you know?
Yeah.
Like if people were actually hyped by Marvel right now, that thing would have just been insane.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen the movie yet.
No.
People whose opinion I trust on the positive side say they recognize that it wasn't a good movie, but they had fun.
Yes.
People whose opinion I trust, who are more on the negative side, they say it's like it's more of like aside from the actresses being great together, the three Marvels, right? Aside from that it's like Thor: Love and Thunder, like ridiculously.
Yeah, I heard a couple of like that it was a little too ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I really love Miss Marvel.
Me too.
Like that show was super fun. It was
too.
my favorite show that had come out of all of those series. I love the actress who portrays her. But then like Captain Marvel, I don't really care about.
I'll agree with that. I don't really care about her, but I was not as down on the movie as a lot of people were. I thought it was fine. I thought it was like MCU phase 1 or 2 worthy in terms. Well, not worthy.
What's weird is why wasn't this a series?
Who knows? They figured this shit out later. I'm just saying that like, I like Monica Rambeau. I love Ms. Marvel, the show.
Yeah.
I
feel like we didn't get enough Monica Rambeau to like drum up a lot of
there's no hype
for
no,
her.
I just like her. It's not hype.
No, I like her too.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
saying like we got her in WandaVision,
Yeah,
and then that was it.
Yeah,
like there wasn't there, and we only got a few episodes with her like actually being a badass, and then that's it. And then suddenly she's in a movie.
Honestly, this movie should have been a show or a Disney Plus movie or something, because it relies on you to have seen all these shows.
Yeah.
You have to see WandaVision. You have to see the Marvels. You know, and technically, I guess you don't have to see Secret Invasion. Apparently, that comes after the Marvels. But nonetheless, like, it's all this stuff that you think you'd have to tune into to understand the movie. You're not going to get as many general audience goers.
Yes,
That
which
are
was the
not-
same complaint that a lot of people had for Ahsoka. Remember?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
They're not really learning their lesson here.
we haven't seen it yet, and I think that's worth noting because, again, it's like, if you use us as a barometer, we're not hyped for Marvel right now. I'll do a Disney Plus show,
Sure.
but I'm not gonna go out to the theater to see these movies until they start giving me a reason to go see them. You know, I'll be there for Deadpool 3. I love the first 2 Deadpool movies, obviously, and I'm pretty optimistic about it. But until then, though there are no Marvel movies until then, but other than that, I'm not hyped.
They need to slow down on the release schedule.
Well, that's the only movie next year.
Good.
Yeah.
That's all I want. I don't want to
Everything
see
else got
anything
pushed.
else. I would even be down to not see any more series. Like just
Yeah.
go away for a while.
Yeah.
Go away and
Let me miss
reassess
you.
and come back. Let us learn to miss you and then come back at it. It's
Yeah.
just that I don't know what that strategy was to overload us with shit.
And they don't need to spend so much money on these movies. You know what I learned the other day? That the Marvels cost, I forget how much money to make, like in the high 100 millions or whatever. And Godzilla Minus One, which is getting, has a 100% score on Rotten Tomatoes and
Oh, we haven't seen it yet.
no, it hasn't come out in the States yet.
Oh,
it comes
okay.
out December 1st. I think we're going to 3rd.
Got it.
But like that costs like 25 million to make, and it looks ridiculous. It's like an excellent looking kaiju movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like the budget is also another thing. Like you're spending all this money on shit nobody wants to see. You know, it's bad for the business.
Melanie says, do like Godzilla and take 10-year breaks.
Well, yeah, funny enough, yeah, you mean like after some series, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I could see that they think that there's no need to fully go away. And honestly, if they just made good movies, we'd be all stoked. We were stoked for everything until we weren't. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like until the movies got bad. It wasn't the genre.
Ryan
I'll go
says,
see-
I'm
yeah.
waiting for Deadpool and X-Men Mutant Cinematic Universe. I agree.
Yeah.
I think I would love to move to the mutant side
Yeah.
of things and let the superhero thing kind of die out for a little while
Yeah.
and just focus on mutants and see if that maybe is a little bit more, it makes for more compelling storylines and stuff that we're actually interested in.
Yeah.
Versus all of this, like, the end of the world. Every fucking show is
I
the end of
know,
the world. It's
I
like,
know.
okay,
I'm
we gotta let it
so-
go for a little while.
Yeah, I'm so worried.
Let's go back to who gives a shit villains. Like, why
Well,
can't
that's
we
what
just
the Marvels
have...
was apparently.
Well, I know, and everyone's like, who was it? Maybe that's good, but I
No,
think
no,
that
it's not good.
I don't think that if you're going to have a big movie like that you can have a throwaway villain at this point.
No, you can't have a throwaway villain. You can have small scenarios.
Yes.
Like the first AntMan movie. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
right. Right.
You could have a smaller. That's cool. Everything can't be a major event, like you're saying. It's true. Like nothing feels important if everything's important.
For sure.
You know, I'm just so worried that they're gonna freaking shoehorn the X-Men in like some hasty way and ruin it, man. I'm so worried,
Let's
dude.
hope not.
Yeah.
Let's hope not.
Yeah.
All right, one last piece of Marvel news. A good thing that is actually happening, which I am very excited about, believe it or not, is that What If Season 2 is coming.
I saw the trailer.
For the December 22nd release, I believe it was.
I'm stoked on that.
We're getting how many episodes? Like 6 or 7?
Oh, floods alert. Sorry, you guys.
Sorry, guys. Hold on.
Oh, annoying. Those emergency alerts. Don't they know we're streaming, goddammit?
We know.
Call
Sorry.
the government right now.
There's a flash flood alert in our area because it's been raining literally all day, and things are getting crazy around here. But I really liked What If.
Me too.
And you know what's funny is I didn't see it until way after it premiered.
Wait a minute.
I had seen a few episodes with you, but then I never finished it, and then I went back and finished it.
Okay.
And I fell in love with it.
So do you prove my point right here?
Which is?
You don't have superhero fatigue. You have lame content fatigue. Because that came out just recently.
I'm not stoked where I'm like, fuck yeah. I'm stoked because the first season was good.
Yeah.
And I liked what they did with it. Plus, it's all kind of like inconsequential.
Yeah.
Like all of these episodes, I know going into it that I'm not going to have to worry about the stakes. Like whatever happened, I know that they kind of introduced at the end of the first season, like the Doctor Strange multiverse bullshit or whatever, but it just didn't feel that big a deal.
Yeah.
And I didn't see it really reflected too much in any of the other projects that came out. So I'm just really excited for this one. First of all, I love animation, so great. And second of all, I like these episodic, like serialized kind of things where I know that I can just pop into any of the episodes and enjoy them.
Right.
So I'm excited. It's going to be December 22nd. Yes,
yeah, I'm
super.
It's funny. I had the same reaction as you. Like I'm in the midst of all this. I'm not hyped. I saw that trailer. I'm like, you know what? Fuck yeah, I'll dig that. You know, I didn't think that the What If show was like the greatest thing ever, but it was super enjoyable and it was unexpected. Like you didn't know what was gonna happen. That was cool. Yeah. And like you said, you don't really have to know everything. You can just enjoy it for what is. So I am with you. I think.
Look, Zygona says you don't have 10 plus years worth of homework to be able to follow it. Exactly. Like you just jump in and it doesn't matter because whatever happens, and then it's over at the end of the episode and we move on. So it's very fun. I think it's a good palate cleanser.
He's totally right, but I don't have that sensation at all. I wonder if there's a lot of people like me out there where it's like, I've watched all the Marvel movies. I was going to always watch them all, so I don't feel like I have 10 years of homework, you know, like...
Yeah, but there's a lot of people that don't, that didn't follow it as closely as you or I did, and so it becomes an issue when you're wow, man, I have no idea what's going on. No one's explaining this shit to me.
It's hard to jump on.
It is very hard to jump on. Yeah, exactly. See, you don't have to jump on, you don't have to be up on the storyline and watch a dozen other shows to understand it 100%. You know, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine.
Moving on. Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here. Let's just hope that What If is good and move on from there. Okay, in not Marvel news.
Well, I have one more piece of Marvel news.
Oh, you didn't tell me this.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And it's good news. I love the Spider-Man 2 game. I just finished it on PlayStation, and I wanted to mention that is the first one, the Miles Morales game, and then this one to me are a perfect Spider-Man story. Like totally reimagined, not totally reimagined, but they definitely moved some things around with canon. Don't want to spoil that. It's incredible. I strongly recommend it. It's also just like super fun. Like to me, Spider-Man games are like Tony Hawk or like NBA games. It's like I can play them all the time. Like you don't have to like change it up too much. Yeah. You know, and it's an awesome experience. The story is fantastic. It completely builds on things that you know. It subverts some things that you know. And again, just for the sake of the argument that I don't think it's superhero fatigue. It's just not great content fatigue. And if you put something out that's good in the midst of all the like meh, people are still gonna run to it because that game sold like crazy. Dude.
It really did. Yeah. I didn't play it. I sat next to Pete and watched him play it. But I did play the first one. It is an incredibly easy game to pick up and start playing.
Yeah,
You don't need to be...
You feel awesome playing.
Yeah,
it.
I mean, like, you need to know how to use thumbsticks and stuff to be able to turn the camera, but that's pretty much it. Everything else is incredibly intuitive. It's very friendly for people who are, like, more button masher versus, trying to execute perfect combat moves. And there's so much additional content and fun storylines to play through that... It's just kind of a perfect game.
Yeah, all the side quests were really compelling. I've almost platinumed it, and I don't think I've ever platinumed a game ever.
Yeah, it's funny because I talked to my friend Lisette, and she platinumed it too, and I was like, I wonder if they just made it platinumable because they wanted everybody to enjoy this universe so much that they were just like, we're just going to give people the trophy for being
well, I'm definitely
because there
playing
are a lot of games that are impossible to platinum.
Sure. Just doesn't feel like a hard platinum.
I'm hearing more often that people are platinuming it than ever before, and I wonder if there's a reason behind that.
I think it's just because it's so fun.
It is fun, and potentially they just made it so fun that people wanted to play it, and to the point where they platinumed it.
Yeah,
like they wanted to just be in that universe for so long that, Anyway,
super fun. And again, if you're just
if you want to play and you don't have a PS5, an Xbox, or a Nintendo Switch, Walmart is going to be putting out some early Black Friday bundle deals for these consoles. So if you don't have one, if you're still on the last gen stuff, the PS4, the Xbox One, I think is the last one. You can grab some of these deals for Black Friday and have a very Merry Christmas with your new console.
Yeah.
The Black Friday bundles for PS5 are the PS5 Slim with SpiderMan 2 or Call of Duty for $500. Either or, and it's the Slim console,
That's
which
cool.
is the new one. Yeah. There's also, you can get the vertical stand if you'd prefer to. We have ours horizontal, but you
I
can
hate
have it
whenever they come up with a new console. I'm like, that's the
know,
one I want.
I want that one. That happened to me with the PS2. Remember the PS2 Slim?
Oh my god!
The way
dude.
that I chucked my PS2 away to get that Slim. My god!
And it was a white Slim. Remember the white Slim?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
the luxury.
I know. The PS5 a digital, which is the one that we have with extra controller, also comes with God of War Ragnarok, and in a gray like camouflage finish for $509. The Xbox Series X and S has a few bundles too. You can get the Series X plus an extra wireless controller, plus 3 months of Game Pass, which is 100% worth getting Game Pass.
Dude, Game Pass is the shit.
For $289, which is a fucking
You know what's funny?
steal.
I have no context for what the consoles go for nowadays. So I'm like listening. I'm like, is that good? It sounds good. I guess that's good.
That's a great. That's a great bundle.
Yeah.
You can also get the Series X with Diablo 4 and Madden 24 for $489. Also fairly good deal. Or you can do Diablo 4 with Call of Duty for the same price, $489, which is still pretty good.
Yeah.
I know not everybody's super into Diablo 4, but it is a good game.
I was a little disappointed with it.
Yeah, I don't know if it was for us though, to be honest.
The friends who
I think
we
you
have
needed to be a little bit sweatier of a gamer to really get what you needed to get out of that game.
Yeah,
But
it was a
anyway.
little like it was like too much of like a loop, like a gameplay loop.
Yeah. They also have the Nintendo Switch OLED edition with the white Joy-Con controllers and Mario Kart 8 for $359, and a deluxe bundle with Mario Kart 8, which includes Mario Kart 8 Deluxe digital game and 3 months of individual Nintendo Switch online membership for $300.
Okay.
Which is nice if you like playing online. I'm not a Switch gamer much anymore. So like having the online membership doesn't mean anything to me, but I know there's a lot of Switch only gamers that would love that.
Yeah.
You can also get like the DualSense controllers are on sale for $50 in a bunch of different colors. So yeah, if you're looking to get into like the new gen of gaming, I think this is the right time. I mean, obviously Black Friday is the right time to buy super expensive shit because it's all going on sale. But these are pretty good deals. So yeah.
By the way, I heard that, I don't know what your next story is, but I have, what is it?
No, nothing. I just like that you're like, I don't know.
No, I was gonna say I don't know what it is, but I was gonna say I read today that James Gunn nothing to do with this, but
oh, you're totally on another.
Yeah. I'm
okay,
like, we already have a PlayStation, but but I heard that James Gunn announced the person who he hired to write the Supergirl movie.
Oh, I heard you listening to something about that,
and that she's like has no real writing credentials. I thought that was interesting. Like, it's one of the biggest movies for one of the biggest relaunches.
She's just a rando.
I mean, she's an actress. She was in True Blood, I think, or Vampire Diaries or something like that.
Vampire Diaries, that's not okay.
Well, she was as an actress.
Right. Still.
And then her writing.
What's her name?
Crap, dude. You'll have to put up James Gunn, Supergirl writer.
Okay,
and bring it up. I thought it was interesting because I was like half listening to it, but I found that to be wild. And then
Anna Noguera.
Anna Noguera. And look, I think, again, from what I was listening to, you know, I feel similarly it could be a great movie, but it's a weird roll of the dice. Apparently the script's done.
Oh.
And it's adapted off a comic that was already very popular. So it's not like it was written from scratch. But still, it's pretty crazy. And I thought that was a pretty unique thing. And he announced it, you know. So if you go on her IMDb or whatever, doesn't have like real credits. What do you think about that?
I don't care.
Oh my gosh.
I just don't care. Like
Okay, in theory then, I know you don't care about Supergirl, but in theory, the idea that it's a first-time writer for a AAA like
I know, but
huge summer tentpole.
Sure, but DCU has been dead to me for a
it's
while.
it's not DCU though. It's
it?
the James Gunn's new universe, rebooting it from scratch.
Yeah, but he hasn't done anything yet aside from Peacemaker and what else did he do?
But it's James Gunn in general. You're not excited for James Gunn?
I am, but like I've been burned so many times by Marvel and by DC that at this point I'm just like, I hope you were able to use your somewhat magic touch to find somebody worthy of this, and maybe you see something in this person that the rest of us aren't seeing, and that will actually be magical, and that this will be a fantastic script. Like, he has really good taste.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I guess
so. Like, I kind of trust him, but
Yeah.
also I don't care enough about DC characters to give a shit about whether this like lives or dies, whether it
we
wins or
love
fails.
Peacemaker. You love Peacemaker.
I know, but like I loved Peacemaker after watching the show because everybody said it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But it's not because I was like, oh, Peacemaker's gonna be in the show.
No. I don't think anybody out there was knowledgeable of. I mean, I don't know. I don't know
like,
anybody
if they
who
ruin
knew
it
Peacemaker.
or don't ruin it, I don't care because I have
Okay,
no.
then forget the DC part of it and try to
Okay.
focus on the theme of the topic, which is hiring a brand new rookie who has no proven record. Forget that it's DC.
Fine. I will go back to what I said originally, which is that I have a little bit of trust in James Gunn to see things in a way that is unique, especially in Hollywood, where he doesn't like, I don't know, he doesn't see things the way that a typical Hollywood producer or director or whatever, head of a project would see things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, he kind of marches to the beat of his own drum, I guess because of where he came from in terms of like what he did.
Yeah.
You know, before, like, he was a fucking trauma guy.
Yeah.
You know, so that already tells you a lot.
By the way, have you seen Slither? I don't remember if you've seen that movie or not.
I believe I have.
That's you. I think you would know with the little slugs that go into the people's mouths and all that.
No, I don't think I have.
We should watch that. It's really good.
Yeah. I'm all right with that.
And Super. You saw Super? With a little kid who's like an evil superhero.
No, I haven't seen
Oh,
that.
that
one
one's really good too.
That's James Gunn too?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we should watch all of those. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like he probably does see something that we don't, and maybe I don't know, maybe he just saw something and he was like, this is going to be awesome. It's going to be different. It's going to be from a different perspective, from a different type of writer, you know?
Yeah.
Who knows? You never know. I trust him.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. Is that what you wanted to talk about?
No, I was just curious. Yeah, I thought it was interesting.
Oh, Raph says time to correct Peter. Anna Noguera is a playwright. She has writing credentials.
No. Yes, I know she has like a play. She wrote a play, and I think maybe even a short film. I remember hearing, but it's just unusual at least from my memory, to have someone who has no film credentials. Like even for example, if she was writing now a smaller film, something that's not, a Hollywood blockbuster potentially, right? That'd be fine. I just weird to go from never writing a film to writing this film.
Right. The chat is saying that the thing that you described for Super is actually Brightburn.
Brightburn, sorry.
But that's James Gunn?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Or produced it at least.
That one I saw.
Now, I'm not sure if he directed or produced it, but it definitely involves him.
Yeah, they said Super is Dwight.
Sorry, you're right. And I love Super, by the way.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm like...
Wait. But that's also James Gunn. Oh. Am I right?
I don't know.
People will tell me.
The chat will correct you immediately.
I love Super. Shut up, crime.
Shut up. Let's see. Okay, moving along. Masters of the Universe movie is eyeing a new home at Amazon after Netflix exits. Yeah. So basically,
This is one of those things, dude.
Well,
This is like that when George Miller was being rumored to direct the Mad Max sequel for like 15 years before he did.
well, they're saying basically that, you know, Amazon is looking to take it on. It's been in production kind of at Netflix
They spent
for a while.
$200 million already on it.
Yeah, but shit's bad, man. Maybe they were like, cutting our losses at 200 million is better for us than putting in more money and having it flop.
That bums me out.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know why. Like, I don't know what's happening at Netflix that they're like, I'd rather take a $200 million loss than continue to pump money into this.
I know
like, what does that
somebody-
mean?
I know somebody.
Wait,
who-
200 million?
Yeah, they invested $200 million already. I think.
No. It says Netflix spent nearly $30 million
sorry.
in development
Okay.
costs over 2 years for the
That's what
project,
I-
which was meant to star Kyle Allen, who's from A Haunting in Venice. The streamer walked away when the tentpole's budget, originally set for more than $200 million, could not be meaningfully reduced.
That's what it was.
Does that
A
make
budget.
sense?
Yeah.
It is a budget issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just, you know, not for the people who are actually He-Man fans out there. I know somebody who was able to see the pre-production office of not this Netflix one, but the one they were working on before with the actor Noah Centineo, who I think that guy looks so much like Prince Adam, He-Man type guy. I wish they would have kept him.
Mm-hmm.
But his face, he was in the recent Black Adam movie. But the point
Which I
is,
didn't see.
The person, I didn't either. The person who saw the art told me that they described it, and it sounded like they were describing the Mondo He-Man figures. Like they looked like the show, it looked like the cartoon and the figures, but just like amped up, like fully,
Yeah.
like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Dude, I want it so bad, and I don't know why it's so cursed.
Well, it's a problem right now because of rights. Unfortunately,
Oh, really?
the rights to Masters are entangled in a dizzying web, one that stretches back more than a decade to when DreamWorks Animation purchased them as part of a larger content library. The deal said Mattel could exploit Masters characters for filmed adaptations through 2026, two sources say. As DWA is now owned by NBC Universal, this means the conglomerate could interfere with any potential sequels that Amazon MGM would want to develop, which is an essential option that a producer needs when investing hundreds of millions of dollars in a big movie. NBCU and Mattel have been in talks for weeks over a possible extension of the rights, sources say, and may reach a deal. But, you know, it's sort of in limbo right now in that negotiation chamber, so we don't know what's going to happen.
Man.
So, yeah, it's like, it's a mess.
I can't. It's such
Maybe
a
that's
bummer.
why Netflix dropped it, because they were
Yeah.
like, fuck it, bro. If we can't even
Make a
guarantee that we can make a sequel
Yeah.
if it's good, then what's the point of continuing to invest?
Yeah.
And like dropping a $30 million project and not that is only at $30 million now versus going all the way to
Right,
200 million is
right.
way easier for a company like Netflix
Yeah.
to not write. Well, I guess, yeah, right on.
I would love to see what they came up with so far, whatever it is. Like one day maybe they'll be put it out, but
Yeah.
I just love to know what we're not getting. Kills me, dude. I want this dang movie so bad.
We'll find out. We'll find
No,
out.
we won't.
What? Maybe we will. Have faith,
We'll never
bro.
see this movie.
Jesus. Do we have time for more news, or are you almost done there? Because you're like,
I'm pretty much done.
you're done.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you can, if you want to get to the last.
You want to
thing-
do a news while
Yeah,
I'll
that's
do a
the last
news
one.
while you go and
Yeah.
ink it and all
I'm
that
gonna ink it right
fun
here, so
stuff.
we're not that
Oh,
far.
okay, cool. So we actually, I am going to go back to Marvel for a moment, but it's a Sony Marvel project. The first trailer for Madam Web dropped, which I did not know was happening at all. So it kind of caught me off guard when they were like,
That's the
Madam Web.
meme.
I'm like, huh?
That's the meme.
Is it really?
Yeah, like Robert Burnett on the John Campea show. Like apparently it was like, wait, there's a Madam Web movie coming out, and everybody thought he was joking. He was like, no, he was serious.
No, we're serious. Sony Pictures has released the first trailer for their Marvel Comics film adaptation and Spider-Man spin-off, Madam Web, ahead of the film's launch in February of next year, which, again, I can't believe it's already coming out in February. That's like a few months away. Dakota Johnson stars in the lead role in the film, which marks a part of Sony Pictures' Marvel Universe of characters, the Spunk. alongside Venom
I
and
hate
Mobius. Sony needs to cut their fucking losses, bro. They have already shit the bed multiple fucking times. I mean, Across the Spider-Verse is literally the only saving grace from
It's a
the
huge
Sony
one, though.
Marvel. I know, but all of their other live action stuff has been hot doo-doo garbage.
Well, Venom made money, a lot of money.
But it was bad. It was bad.
It wasn't great.
Sorry, it was bad. Like the first one was okay with a capital O.
Yeah.
The second one was pipi caca.
Yeah.
And Mobius, hello.
Yeah, that was rough.
I'm sorry. Did we all just fucking have,
There's also
amnesia about
Craven's
Mobius?
coming out, so you can be excited.
Oh yeah, real excited for that fucking hot turd. So I just feel like, maybe stop. Like stick to the
So
Spider-Man
I'm gonna
shit.
give you a hot take here.
All right, go ahead.
I'm gonna give you a hot take.
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I think this movie is gonna be good, but I am pretty sure that this whole movie is like a red herring type thing.
What does that mean?
Like it's that I feel like they are secretly like making another movie. I mean, or in other words, if it's anything more than a post-credit scene, this is essentially what I've read about it. I'll tell you what I've read about it.
Okay.
This is like they're comparing it. It has like Terminator vibes, the first Terminator.
Madam Web?
Yes. Now let me explain. There's
Okay.
some time traveling stuff.
Okay.
What's the guy that we like from Severance and Parks and Rec? Adam Scott.
Oh, I love him.
He's in the movie.
Okay.
He plays.
guy. A very important
No,
character.
I think he plays Peter Parker's dad or Ben Parker, Uncle Ben.
Like young Uncle Ben?
Yes.
Uncle Ben?
Yeah, Uncle. And then Julia Roberts' kid, who's in it,
Emma Roberts?
yeah, plays
I do like Emma Roberts.
Aunt May Young, I believe.
Okay.
And hold on.
All right.
No,
No,
hold
I'm
on.
saying it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool in
Cool.
theory.
Right, in theory.
And so, Madam Web is dealing with this evil-looking Spider-Man character in the trailer, which you have there if you scroll up.
Yeah.
Who's coming apparently to prevent them from getting together. That's what I've read, and it fits kind of with a comic story run that from the early 2000s where they introduced this character who's in the preview named Ezekiel, and Ezekiel is like the first person to ever get the spider bite. And so he kind of like hooks up with Peter and explains to Peter like what the meaning of his powers is, and Madam Web is an important character in that story arc, yada yada yada.
Well, apparently she's like a clairvoyant.
So yeah, and the way she's been used in some stories is she's like the center of the Spider-Man multiverse, And so, getting back to my original theory, only a theory, is that the only reason you make a Madam Web movie is to further discuss and talk about the Spider-Verse. And I think that by the end of this movie, if it's not just
My God,
a
Venom
post-credit,
3. Sorry, it just says Venom 3 is coming towards year end.
Oh, for
Hate
sure.
it. Hate it.
but if it's not just a multiverse like post-credit scene, there may be like a whole arc in this movie that's introducing the Miles Morales universe of things too. I think that's part of like a stealth.
I'm all right with that.
A stealth like trickle of it. You know what I mean?
I'm all right with that.
And I don't know if the movie's gonna be good, but it doesn't look as bad as I would think it would look.
Well, Dole and Raph were saying that they have to make movies like this to keep the rights.
Exactly.
To Spider-Man,
That's
so
the
like,
business side of things. Yes.
I mean, I get it,
That
but like,
sucks too. But yeah, that's true.
I feel like they should just stop.
Yeah, because they can't make Spider-Man right now, right? It's outside of the animated one.
I guess
but
not.
let's see if this print's okay. No, it needs more ink. Yeah. So, are you gonna show the trailer or no?
I can, but I can't play the
Yeah. Just play. Just show the images.
There you go.
Yeah, because there's first of all there's this moment where it looks like straight up the Spider Woman out of Across the Spider-Verse. I don't know if it's her or not, but it seems like a bunch of Spider Women characters, So I don't know if they're gonna show Spider Gwen at some point or a real There's too much you can do with this to make this hype. I'm not saying it's gonna be good just because these things are in it. I'm just saying that I think they're gonna do something like this. I don't know, man.
I don't know. I'm watching it right now.
The some of the acting is not great in the preview, but I like her as an actress. I don't have a problem with her.
Yeah, she's fine.
Yeah, and if it is a time travel thing, it could be interesting. I don't love this costume, so I hope this evil Spider-Man costume thing is like another red herring, just like to get it out of the way early to make people think one thing and then be something else.
So wait, is she a Spider-Man?
No, Madam Web is not. She's just like a Nexus type character, you know. She's like in the middle of the multiverse, but she's meeting all these women who are like Spider Women type. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this might be that she's in a different multiverse. Yeah. One of those things. I'm
And
just
what,
curious.
she's like gonna try to save them so they can be
No,
Spider-Women?
I think she's gonna protect May and Ben Parker, or it's not unless it's Peter's parents. I forget Richard. Forget her. Mary Parker. So she's either gonna have to protect them from Ezekiel trying to kill the baby or whatever it is, or kill them to prevent the baby, or she's gonna protect May and Ben. I forget, but it's gonna be like that Sarah Connor, the Terminator, John Connor thing.
Okay.
Well, here it is, Jack Skellington. Hey,
Wow.
yeah, I really like this one.
Look at you.
This was one of those tough ones in the sense that he's so iconic and recognizable that how do you change it too much? So I just kind of wanted to make sure his head felt like it was a little carved.
Right.
So I play with some angles here and there and add those little tick marks to give it the sense of texture. And I didn't want to depart too much because it's a perfect design, but it does feel a little stylized. I dig them. I've never actually. Oh yes, I have. I have done.
You have.
Way in the past. Yeah. I have.
Way
Yeah.
a long time ago.
But I've never tried to stylize him too much. I kind of just let him be how he looks.
I love
But
him.
there he is. So
I love that you did this now because I have decided that Nightmare Before Christmas is a Christmas movie and not a Halloween movie.
Yeah, it's how we stretch
Fight me,
Halloween
I don't
into
care.
Christmas.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Well, if you guys want to win a copy of this print for free, you can just join the Patreon and become a member there, a paid subscribing member. Apparently, I didn't know there was a way to do it for free, but
Yes,
you can win. You have one of 5 chances right now to win every month. And we announce those winners on one of our Patreon exclusive streams where we have Let's Plays and we've had some watch along movies before. It's a lot of fun. We're actually having a freaking lot of fun on those streams. And so I strongly encourage you guys to join. You can watch the older videos.
We have one coming up this Sunday.
We have one coming up this Sunday. We haven't yet picked what we're going to do.
Right.
In terms of, I still want to play a game. It's just so relaxing and fun.
I know.
So if you guys...
We will decide...
I'll just let people think. Like, I could always play DBD again, Dead by Daylight again, and try to crush with
That would be fun.
with some
That
different
was
killers.
hilarious.
Yeah. And then we'll do the same thing. If I win a match, you win a print. That kind of thing.
I'm down.
Yeah. That
Especially,
might be.
will Chucky be
Not
out
yet.
by then? Dang.
Oh, maybe if you have it on the Steam Deck,
Why?
we could try because
Because of the
yeah.
public server. Yeah.
Maybe. Chucky's coming out in Dead by
Yeah,
Daylight.
they already announced that we're gonna have Chucky and Tiff.
Yeah.
will be there too.
Yeah.
So that could be fun to
Yeah.
show you guys.
But if not, we'll do something fun there. We have some other games we want to play, like Phasmophobia is a fun one. But you guys let us know in the Patreon. If you're a subscriber, you can put it in the Patreon comments.
Effie
Let
says
us know.
Baldur's Gate.
No, I want to play it, but that's not a stream
We'll put
game.
people to sleep,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. That's for us, like to enjoy, just chill. But anyway, join. You can win prints. You can hang out with us. Have exclusive drops in the Patreon as well. The Patreon shop. It's a good time. It's a lot of fun.
Good time.
So
yeah, we have a lot of fun stuff planned for
yeah.
Patreon. So make sure if you can to subscribe. It's only $5 a month, or you could just stay like as a follower and see what we're doing there, and then you can decide when you want to join.
Yes, definitely encourage it. But it's gonna be a fun one. And then
It is.
another thing I want to mention, we should have mentioned at the top, is I did a couple of streams this week outside of this one. I did a stream on the Mondo channel. We're bringing the Mondo channel back.
Yes.
We did a Godzilla watch along recently. We did a stream talking about Panther, which was a ton of fun. The intro alone of that stream, me trying to figure out how to run StreamYard software is worth watching by itself. And then in addition to that, on Tuesday, my buddy Christian Harloff over from the Big Thing from back from the old Collider and Skybound days, he has a day of his channel on Tuesdays dedicated to UFO and UAP talk. If you're like me, that's all I care about. It's all I want to learn about and listen to.
100%.
And so he invites me on from time to time to talk about it. And we had a great conversation the other day. Dude, the video is blowing up. You should pull it up real quick because it's still crazy
What's it
for
called?
Christian The Big Thing is the
Okay.
channel. It should come up.
Christian Harloff.
Yeah, and then it's like Tuesday's video, but you'll see my dumb face with like a bunch of red and white text. I think it was.
All right, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Harriman just sent us a super chat for $50
Hey.
worth of sticker. Thank you so
Why?
much.
Harry,
Harriman.
yeah,
You don't
thank
have to
you,
do
dude.
that. Thank you.
Oh man, I appreciate it, dude. Thank you.
Oh, you're the best. Thank you so much.
And you didn't even ask Gabby to sing. You missed your chance. She would have sang a
Had
whole
choice.
album.
You had a choice. Oh, look at your big dumb face.
Yeah,
hold
see,
on. Hold
yeah,
on.
yeah.
I gotta go over there and so
Yeah.
people can see it. Hold on.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody relax. We're about to see Peter's big dumb face. Here it is.
No, but show the
right
video. 'Cause
here.
the reason I want to bring it up is because even if you don't,
You want me to click on it?
yeah, yeah, click on it.
Oh, okay.
Even if you don't watch it, look how many views does this thing have, dude.
102,000.
No,
No,
no.
88,000. Sorry.
88,000 views on this video that dropped on Tuesday. It's kind of crazy. Like people are DMing me now about alien
Are
stuff.
they really?
Yes.
Oh my God, your dream come true.
No, well, not so much. It's a little weird because I don't know who these people are, and then like the comments are all positive, but it's like just a totally different thing. I'm just there talking for fun because I love this
Look,
topic.
Rob's in the chat. He says, "I think I saw a UFO at the Columbus airport Sunday night."
Oh, send
Rob,
pictures.
DM him, bro.
Yes, dude. Send a picture.
So ridiculous.
Yeah. But it's just so funny because for me, it's just a fun way to catch up with Christian and talk about, UFO stuff.
Aliens, yeah.
But it's like hilarious that it popped off that much. His channel's doing really well. They just crossed
It is,
100,000
yeah.
subs. Yeah. And he's now got one day a week that's solely dedicated to this. The rest of the week is like movie, pop culture, TV, reviews, all that kind of stuff. The regular stuff that you love his channel for. But he started doing this because like me, he's like a nerd about this topic. And dude, it's popped off.
And it's
popped
great
off.
because then
Yeah.
he doesn't talk to me about it. So I'm
Exactly.
very, very uncomfortable talking
And
about
Christian said the same thing. Like
aliens.
his wife doesn't want to talk to him about this topic either, so we both just talk there. And he's
Perfect.
usually there with Riley from the old Collider days too. It's a great time, and so check it out if you guys haven't yet. It's a lot of fun. I posted it on my channel, but if not, Gabby can post the link in the chat.
I shall.
Yeah, and go give it a thumbs up or something just to support. Christian's great. He's always been
He
great.
is
to me.
great. Yeah.
All right, you guys. Well, that'll do it. If you want to win a chance owning this print, make sure you're in the Patreon. We've got some more giveaways this month, and we'll be announcing the rest of our schedule for the year pretty soon because we got the holidays coming up. I'm going to DesignerCon. That was what I wanted to say.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Gabby
I forgot
and I,
about that.
Oh my God. Gabby and I are going to DesignerCon in Anaheim.
Yep.
So if you are going to be in the LA, Anaheim, Orange County area, I know it's in December this year, not November. But if you're around, come hang out with us. We're going to be there.
It's gonna be fun.
Lots of new cool toys to debut, including, from what I hear, knock on wood, I'm probably going to ruin it, I'll have something new to show off too.
Yes.
And it's really cool.
Yes.
And you guys are going to dig it. All right. More on that later. We love you very much.
Thank you guys
so
for being
much.
here. If remember, stream on Sunday for Patreon members only.
Yeah.
So if you want to hang out with us again on Sunday, make sure to join.
Yes.
And I think that's it.
That's
right?
it.
Yeah, we're good. Okay. All right. We
Bye,
love you
guys.
guys.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Bye.
Bye.